It's time for breaking bread with Papa. Hey, don't you know? Hey, it's sourdough. Hey, it's time for breaking bread with Papa. Hey, don't you know? Hey, it's also a show.
Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of Breaking Bread with Tom Papa. I am Tom Papa. Thank you for joining us once again. We've got a fun one today. We've got Erik Griffin. You know Erik, very funny comedian. You know him from WORKAHOLICS, playing Montez. He also has Riffin With Griffin, his amazing podcast. He's actually several podcasts. He mentions it in the middle of the podcast, so we'll let him do it. But a very funny guy. He also was just talking about his gaming. God, he games a lot. And he has this great Twitch channel, which is very popular. Because he is very funny, so just watching him do the gaming has got to be hilarious. And I'm really falling behind with this whole gaming thing. I looked into the PS5 for myself. I was like, maybe I should do that. And then I started watching videos on YouTube of people playing the games. And I was like, well, this is kind of enough. Do I really have to hold the controller and not be able to do the things that I want to do, and I could just watch someone else do it, which is, I guess, why people are watching Erik do it. Watch him do Call of Duty and be frustrated and yell. Maybe that's the key. Maybe everything is so complicated. I guess I don't need to buy it, or I do need to buy it. I'm confused. I bake bread. I was a little late coming to the podcast today because I was baking bread for Erik. Could not let this food-loving friend come into place and not give him my exact bread. And started last night and then got all the timing down in between my radio show. Some guy came to the house and was doing stuff with the internet, and the bread schedule was so second nature at this point that as I'm in the middle of talking to a guy in my yard, I'm like, hold that thought and just go inside as the timer's going off for the next stage of the bread. So hopefully Erik will like it. My new book, We're All in This Together, So Make Some Room, is available for pre-order right now. It's going to come out on June 6th, and we'll let you know about all the live events we're going to do, in addition to the stand-up tour. Go to tompapa.com for all of that. We've got a bunch of shows coming up. We've got Dayton, we've got Scranton, we've got Grand Rapids. We added second shows in Atlanta and in Chicago. So a lot of stuff going on the tour. And buy the book. Make sure you buy the book. It's the third book. Yee! Crazy. Third book. And it's ready for pre-order right now. All right. Well, let's jump right in. We have a great conversation with Erik Griffin. Enjoy it. Nice to see you.
Hey, buddy.
What'd you eat today?
What did I eat today? I went to Air. You ever go to Air One?
I have not been. My daughter keeps talking about it.
Yeah, she must wear yoga pants because apparently that's the only people that can get in there. You have to have yoga pants.
You have to have yoga pants and a no limit on your credit card.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife, she just loves
Air One.
And then she comes back with practically nothing, And I say, well, how much was all this? And she says, well, I spent what I needed to spend. That's Air One.
It is really expensive,
yeah,
right?
But I get food there.
What do you get?
They had these Korean ribs.
Ooh.
Yeah. Boneless too.
Is that what it is? Mostly prepared food?
Yeah. No. It's a supermarket, but they have a great prepared food area.
Right.
That's
why everyone's excited.
Yeah. And you get the food. And anytime they have to weigh the food, which is... I don't know if I trust that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're weighing
my ribs with all my bones.
Yeah. You're like, okay. And why is the case porcelain? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, so I had like this little healthy Korean burrito.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's good. And that was breakfast?
No. It was like a lunch.
That was lunch.
Yeah.
Do you have breakfast?
You know what? Sometimes.
Not
but
really
I haven't
your
been
jam?
like I used to subscribe to that. Breakfast is the most important meal.
Right.
But then like they said that
Yeah.
they coming out with new studies going like, oh, that's not true.
I know.
Yeah. Which is so annoying.
It's so annoying. Think about just in our lifetime.
Yeah, man. Oh my God. Because we're like, I'm 50. So
Yeah.
we have gone through this like revolution of like what you can and cannot do.
And they're still not
Yeah.
have it figured out.
Yeah. It's like you find...
When you were younger and they're like, no fat. You can't have any fat.
Yeah.
So you're eating Snackwells and all the stuff with all the sugar in it.
Yeah.
And they're like, nah, actually the fat's not the problem.
It's the sugar.
It's the sugar and the prepare. Like, Jesus.
I know,
wonder
make
I'm
up your mind.
Right, exactly.
And they never come
No wonder
out-
I'm constantly look puffy in the mirror.
I want them to come out with like, broccoli has been found to cause, testicular, be like, I knew it.
And now everyone's into intermittent fasting, which is basically skip breakfast.
Yeah. But I've been like, I'll have coffee.
I love coffee.
I have a coffee, and then I realize, to me, isn't it supposed to eat when you're hungry?
Yeah.
So it's like,
right.
and then the energy you need, take some vitamins.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know when I haven't taken my vitamins because I feel it.
Yeah.
And then at my age, like I feel like I'm a Hogwarts potion master. You know what I mean? Because I got my ashwagandha and my
all your jars.
Yeah, and my turmeric and like, you know what I mean? I'm taking a meal's worth of pills just to be like, oh, I feel good
Are
today.
you thinking about testosterone?
Yeah, all that too.
I was talking to I did Kill Tony in Austin. I was talking with Red Band, and he was talking about he's poking around. He found a guy, and that's kind of intriguing to me that you could have the energy that you did 20 years ago.
Well, I'll tell you, like, some people are all embarrassed by this kind of stuff, but I'm not. I went to like this place called Next Health, and shout out to Next Health, where they have this, what is it called? It's like hormone treatment, but it's like bioidentical hormone treatment. You get the pellets. Yeah, so they slice your side of your butt cheek, and they put these pellets in, and it releases over the month, and your testosterone. 'Cause I didn't even know when I first went.
Whoa.
So what they give you a blood panel?
Okay.
'Cause
Why did you go in the first place?
Because I wanted to check on my health.
Yeah.
And I believe in preventative medicine, not like just reactive medicine of like, okay, you're sick, so now we got to do something. So I went, and you do a blood test, and they look at everything. So they'll be like, oh wow, and I was a mess. Low vitamin D, low B12,
everybody.
calcium, all the stuff, cholesterol. Testosterone was like that, like 150 or something, which is like you're supposed to be at 700.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you don't even realize this till you go get the blood test, you get all this stuff, and they're showing you all the things you need to do, and then they start working on it with you,
Oh.
you got to take B12 every day, you got to take your vitamin D, and then these things really, you start to like, wow, I'm growing hair, my nails are stronger.
For real?
Yeah, it was like crazy. I'm losing weight, just from testosterone and stuff like that. And
Wait,
then,
go to the testosterone part. Like you said, you're taking...
that's the pellets. So they put the pellets in, the hormone treatment, and that's what
and they do that once a month?
It's not once a month. It's like every 3 months or 4 months, however long you want to do. Yeah, and then you
do you feel the pellets in your butt?
Yeah, you at first until it heals.
Okay.
There's like a little, and it's a little uncomfortable. Like I stopped doing it for a lot of reasons because I got married and we're trying to have kids.
Right.
So it's like it does affect your fertility. So, but man,
How long did you do it for?
I did it for like a year. And I'm telling you, the first month is when you really feel the difference.
Really?
Like, I'm peeing like I'm 15. It's just like like a stream of like, gah. I can take paint off a battleship. You know what I mean? I'm in there like, babe, listen to that pee. Dun, 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 dun. You know what I mean?
And acting like a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
Yelling from the other room.
So it was
Did you have more energy?
More energy.
Did you like just during the day you didn't kind of like...
Yeah.
It was a big difference?
Yeah, it was a big difference. But it's on top of... You're taking the proper vitamins that you need. You're eating better.
Right.
You get some movement, some exercise. I mean, all these things affect everything.
Yeah.
But it's when you get older, you don't know you need to take care of yourself until you need to take care of yourself.
I know. Right. Exactly. And I went for physical. I haven't been since before the pandemic, so it's been a beat. And I'm trying to get in shape for my next physical, so the doctor thinks I've been good all this time. And
But
the last time I went, the testosterone thing was, they said it was normal. But what's normal for someone who's 50 isn't what we want. I don't want what's normal for, I want what's normal for 25.
Yeah.
I want all of that juice that keeps you going and strong and all that. Like,
well, that's what these things are. They have all these things, but you know, again, when you get to a certain age, you start looking into stuff, and you're just like, oh wow, you know. So I'm taking maca and ashwagandha. And
what's ashwagandha?
It's this herb. And, you know, it's one of those, like, you know.
Don't know what it does. But it sounds like it does something great. Yeah. It sounds amazing.
I take in my daily greens, so I have this like one of those like Caged or one of those things from Instagram. You know, the green powder. I take it every morning.
Right.
And and the thing too that was great about once I started doing all this stuff, the poops. Solid.
I like this wine bottle.
Yeah, dude. I mean, just like, oh man, you know, footlongs. You know what I mean? I was like, yes,
I'm back. Taking pictures to send to your friends.
Posting next to it. You know what I mean? I'm holding the toilet like, that's me, y'all. So it's just,
So how much of it are you still doing?
I'm doing all right now. I'm doing all like just making sure I'm doing my vitamins and all that kind of stuff.
Just not the testosterone.
Yeah. But I think there's other ways to do that too. But at the time, I was like, I felt like I was way fatter, and you know, you get on that, you measure your body fat percentage, and you're just kind of like, Jesus.
No, I remember when you dropped. I remember when you.
Yeah, because you get to, like, I started to like, I could gain weight like.
Yeah. It's amazing, isn't it?
It's really annoying.
It's so annoying.
Yeah.
I was looking at on the Peloton, like after working out, like, you know, it was like 45 minutes and you burn like 400 calories. And it's like, that's 2 Oreos. You know what I mean? Like,
bro,
all that work.
Don't even get me started. It doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean?
Not at
all.
Like,
calories are on some kind of peso exchange rate.
I know.
You know what I mean?
It's brutal.
It's brutal.
God.
I remember doing this movie. I was doing this movie in Boston, and you know, it was a Netflix. So they had us. We were staying at this super fancy hotel, which was like. But after 3 weeks, you feel like I'm in federal prison.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even though it was
I always say, like, the glow of a fancy place after 4 days, anywhere.
And now the little per diem that they gave you for food, it wasn't covering the room service of this place.
Right.
You know, but then like the thing I was doing was there was like also snacks. Mm-hmm. So they had like a thing of like 4 Oreos.
Right.
You know, I must have spent like $85.
Just
over the course.
Waiting for the guy to come back and refill with his cart.
But then I told the other actors that they were like, Erik, there's a CVS down the street.
You can get the whole thing.
But I said, no, that's why I didn't want to do it. Because if I go down and get the $12 Oreo, I'm going to eat all that.
Right.
But if I can only have 4 at a time, I'd rather pay.
Are Oreos your favorite cookie?
Yeah. Those are good. An oatmeal raisin.
They're really good. Any oatmeal raisin?
Yeah, I love a good oatmeal raisin.
Yeah.
And it turns out it's really bad for you.
Well, yeah.
In comparison to, say, a chocolate chip cookie.
Oh, really? Why would it?
I don't even understand it either.
Because the brown sugar?
The calories. When you look at the, like, you know, that's something that changed our lives in here when they passed that law in California where you could see calories and things.
Yeah.
It literally, like, you know, you remember Starbucks used to have muffins this big. The muffins would be like, would you like a muffin to go? And then they had to put the calories. It's like, then they were like, ooh, we can't sell that anymore.
Yeah, we're going to cut everyone's portions back.
Yeah, we're cutting the portions back. So that's...
I never thought about that.
Yeah, that's what changed our, it led us in a direction of being aware.
I have to say, the one thing I like at Starbucks when I'm on the road is that little protein box with the 2 eggs, a slice of cheese, and some apples.
And some grapes and apples. Yeah. Love that.
That thing is solid.
Yeah, it's like 1,600 calories.
It's like $52.
Yeah.
No, it's good. That's like a good, like... Because, you know, you're always looking at the giant scones like, oh, I'm traveling. I deserve it. I'm allowed.
I deserve this.
Right. I deserve to feel shitty in 20 minutes.
Yeah. What you find yourself like, I'm so aware of what I eat now.
Yeah.
And not because, like, not before, like right after. So then you remember that feeling and you're like, I don't know if I should have.
If that's worth it.
If this is worth the you know?
I'm feeling it really with the processed stuff that I love.
Oh.
Like when I'm rushing through an airport, one of my guilty pleasures is Cheez-Its. And they've really stepped up their game. Like they're 12 different kinds and a whole wall of them and those shiny packages. And I do love a nice Cheez-It or like a Dorito or like some like small bag of something shitty.
Yeah.
But man, I'm really clocking like before Cheez-Its and after Cheez-Its.
Yeah.
You know, the sinuses, like I literally can feel
that's
like
the new BC.
Yeah. The new BC. Yeah, like literally my sinuses, I get a little headachy. And
Oh,
it's like,
yeah. Your eyes are watering and you're
Yeah.
like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I had a double cheeseburger from A&W.
Yeah, I had God knows what in my body because it's not really a wholesome little cracker. This is high octane manipulated chemicals.
I'm like that. The sugar gets me.
Yeah.
The sugar
We just
gets
watched
me.
a thing on sugar last night.
Yeah. Oh, I hate looking at those things.
Those things are rough.
Yeah. I don't like looking at like I'm off milk because I saw one. Like I just go. I can't drink milk now. I'm a monster. You know what I mean? I'm ripping kids away from their mother.
I know. What's wrong with me?
It's like, okay, so that's the one where I went, okay.
Yeah.
You know, you could kill the mom
And
for me
what
to
was-
eat at a restaurant.
It was purely because of the
Yeah, that.
calf and the mom.
Yeah, just seeing what they do to get milk and then also just I don't really need it.
No, I know.
Some good oat milk, I'm good.
Yeah.
I have my coffee with oat milk and honey.
Oat milk and honey.
Yeah, yeah, try that. It's delicious.
Yeah. I usually go black.
Oh, but you never go back. I like that. Yeah,
I do
really,
like a nice
I need-
black.
No,
if it's good coffee.
I'm actually a coffee snob now. I have a Breville with two grinders. The one that has a grinder, I have a separate grinder. I have two kinds of coffee in there.
Nice.
I got the little heavy thing now that you put it, you turn it so it's nice. You turn it around and it gets it nice and.
Oh, wow.
And then I'm all about the pressure, like, oh, it has to be at a certain point. Then I have that coffee and I'm like, oh.
Do you have a favorite bean?
I'm an Erista. No, I like Blue Bottle has some good beans. So my wife, I have a subscription to a couple.
Okay.
I just stagger them out. You know,
Right.
It's just like I love a good cup of coffee in the morning. Yeah.
Oh, that smell when you grind those beans at the first thing in the morning.
Oh, it's the best.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. So
that is one of the only things that is a complete pleasure, which all of the studies keep coming up with. It's pretty good for you.
Yeah. But I think a lot of things can be good for you, or how about this? Not bad for you.
Right. Won't kill you.
Right. You know what I mean? But in moderation.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about it's like, I think moderation is the main thing that's hard to do.
I had a Coke Zero and a handful of Cheez-Its, half a box of Cheez-Its before I went up to the Comedy Store a couple weeks ago.
Oh, man.
And I started the set off saying, I might not make it. I've had them separate, but I never combined them.
I just had a Coke Zero, and I normally will only have it on a plane. Mm-hmm. Like that's
a
my
good
thing.
plane one.
When I'm flying United, I'm like, give me a Coke Zero.
Yeah.
You know, but other than that, I'm just kind of like, I stopped. I got out. Like I was saying, sugar bugs me. So like, even if I have a Red Bull, if I have the sugar Red Bull, the regular Red Bull, it doesn't do anything for me.
Oh.
I had this hard crash where I feel like, oof, I'm tired.
Oh, interesting.
And I think it's the sugar crash from so
that was the other thing in the sugar. It was like a Netflix series of of teaching you what's wrong with everything you're doing. And the sugar one was, they talked a lot about the sugar substitutes. And
how bad they are.
Yeah, but you came out of it like so vague. Like,
but that's
is a spatter. What is it? Aspartame and all these other ones, and they're like, and that one seems like it's not that bad. Well, maybe this one's gonna. We came out like, so what are we supposed to do?
Man, I'm so off documentaries.
Yeah. Why? Because they're ruining your life?
Are you a documentary guy?
I was for a long time, but I think I've run out of the good ones.
Well, I think that the problem with documentaries is there's this false assumption that the word documentary means this is true. That this is unbiased. And I always like to remind people, Making a Murderer was a fantastic 10-part documentary. That dude's still in jail.
Right.
You know why? Because they left out all the things that if you would have saw it, you would have said, oh, he probably did it.
Right.
So
yeah,
like that,
they're creating some entertainment for you.
took over the nation.
Yeah.
That one organization that gets people out of prison got involved. But then, like I say, you could just Google like the things they left out, and you'll be like, oh.
Why didn't they put that in?
Right. Right.
You wouldn't have gotten past the 4th episode.
Right. So I think a lot of documentaries now is like they're just like it's somebody's point of view.
Yeah.
They're expressing it, and then you have to look at this and be like, all right. I think that documentary to me is supposed to present information.
Yeah, and let you decide.
Yeah. The closest one I've seen that I thought was like that was this one about it's called Don't Answer the Phone. Did you see that one on Netflix? It was like about this guy that was calling fast food restaurants and saying that like, yeah, your female employee is a thief and I'm a cop. And then he was on the phone so long that this is how it ended up. The girl's naked in the room with the manager because he says you need to strip search her. And he was like a psychological mastermind because some of the managers end up doing some terrible stuff.
Jeez, so just from the phone call?
Just from a phone call. Whoa. And he did it so many times. So they're presenting this, and you're like, wow, this sounds like a monster. And then they've tracked down who they think it is. And then you think like, oh man, they got him. And then the next scene is like the lawyer, him. And the lawyer's like, there's no way in hell my guy did this, and I'm going to tell you why. And I thought, I love this. Because then the guy presented a bunch of information when you go, well, did he do it? You know, and so then I can decide.
Right.
But a lot of times documentary filmmakers, they're saying, I don't like this person. And I'm going to tell you all the reasons why I don't like them.
Right.
And we're not going to let them talk. We're not going to have anybody advocate for that person. Nothing. And then it's like people go, well, it's a documentary, so it's got to be real. There needs to be a new name.
Yeah. Well, especially with on streaming, because someone will have a subject, which might have been a good, 90-minute film. But now they're doing 8 to 10 episodes.
Oh, I know.
They're stretching it out, and they need to keep you watching and have a cliffhanger. So that becomes manipulative.
Yeah, I mean, it's all entertainment, man.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime to me, documentaries are supposed to be sort of testimony, right?
Yeah.
So the moment, like, if you're doing a documentary, I'm documenting you right now, and then I have to go, let's do it again.
Right.
How's that testimony?
Yeah,
I thought that about
exactly.
I thought that about the Michael Jackson documentary when this guy's saying all this awful stuff, but you can see behind him that time has lapsed, that there was a cup and now it's not there. So that tells me that the guy making it was like, let's do it again.
Right.
Yeah. But this time really sell that he was in your butthole. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So then you just kind of go, well, is this, if this was court, you would say it one time, and if you didn't have the, but
all the production value.
Imagine if you can go in court and be like, let me do that testimony again. I need to, just, can we take a break and come back?
I think it'd be better if I was crying.
Right. To me, there's something wrong with that. There's something wrong with that. Especially something that's important.
Right.
Some of these documentaries are about important subjects. This is important, so let's get it right.
Right.
But let's not,
Well, let me go back then. Maybe all of these problems that you're noting about documentaries, maybe milk is good for us.
Exactly.
Maybe if you had some creamy milk in your beautiful coffee extension.
But there is such a thing as being lactose intolerant. There's something about milk. There's something to the belly.
Milk does mess you up.
It messes you up.
It does.
Yeah.
You
get to a certain age and like you start to like vegetables, and then you start to like, There's even what's really getting me now too is like I love a good steak, but even now that's bugging me. It's like I can't just get give me the 22-ounce porterhouse, and I'm looking at this like, dude, I get 6 bites in, and I'm like,
how far am I supposed to go?
Yeah, this is
this is way too much.
This is too much.
I know.
So now I'm getting like, give me the 6-ounce.
Give me the petite fillet.
Give me the petite fillet.
Which they call it petite because it's hard to act like a man in the steakhouse saying that, so you're going to go up.
Right.
In front of your friends, cigars hanging out of their mouth. I like the petite fillet.
I know.
No, it's true. I had the same thing. I got this giant steak.
Yeah.
And I was like, after 2 bites, I said in my head, I was like, I'm kind of good.
Yeah, I can't finish this.
Yeah, that's all I needed.
Yeah, we went to Nobu the other day for Valentine's with my wife, and she And we got like this. I'd never got it before, so I was like, "Yeah, give me the Japanese Wagyu." You know?
Yeah, fancy.
And it's fancy, but it's, you know, it's like $38 an ounce.
Right.
You know, and you have to get 4 ounces. You know what I mean?
How was it?
I hate that. Just do the damn math. Just,
you hate when they weigh things.
just tell, yeah. Why are we weighing this? Just tell me it's $275.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, what are we doing? Am I saving money? Like in my mind, I'm like, ooh, I'm only spending $38. Anyways,
Yeah.
But it was 4 ounces. It was delicious.
And it was perfect.
It was enough.
Was it a big difference
What
from
do you
like
mean?
regular steak?
Yeah.
It was.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So now I go to places now and I'd be like, okay, when you see that little market price, you know, when you're married, it's
Yeah.
okay to. When you're married now, you could just be like, yeah, what's the market price?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are we doing?
Right.
Why isn't this on the menu? You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you can write
You're
this
not
in
dating
every
and
day.
trying to.
Yeah. That's the beauty of marriage.
Yeah.
Marriage is just like, no. What? How much is that? You know what I mean? But it's like, it's good when you just
Yeah.
get. I realize that that's enough.
How long you been married now?
Oh, just not even a year yet.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow. I feel like I guess.
We've been together a while, but now we finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
I started late, you know.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
And you want kids?
Yeah, working on it.
Yeah.
So that's the whole reason about the health stuff too.
Yeah.
So you're being healthy, you're like, oh man,
Yeah.
you know.
You can get it. Yeah, exactly.
I don't want Quasimodo coming out because of me. You know what I mean?
Well, they might play football or something.
You gave me no hope with that sigh. You gave me nothing with that. You gave me like,
Do you
know?
like being married?
yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I didn't know I needed it till I got it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What were you looking for it, or it just kind of happened?
No, we just, you know, when you're with someone and you get to a point where it's just like, well, I mean,
What are we doing?
what are we doing?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, okay. Easy for men to just
Yeah.
be like, all right, well, I'm doing, you know, that's just, you know, but then you just go, you know what, I like this.
Yeah.
And then the pandemic helped because, excuse me, she moved in and,
During the pandemic.
yeah, and it worked.
Right.
And when it worked in a way that I was like, oh, yeah,
Yeah. Like this.
I could do this.
Right. I can do this forever.
Yeah.
What was the thing that you were worried about? Like, can I do it?
well, you
was
know-
it just being with somebody, sharing
Yeah, you know,
space with somebody?
Yeah, you know, as a man, you know, it's like we
Yeah.
fuss about things like, you know, we in the kitchen like, hey, the jelly doesn't go here.
I have a quiet jelly campaign going
Yeah.
on in my fridge right now. I
You know
swear
what
to
mean?
God.
You know, it's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's just how we are. We're
Yeah.
like, yeah, I don't know how you were raised, but we don't put jelly here. You know? So when you can
Right. Why?
when you can get past all that and you realize, oh, this is gonna work.
Yeah.
There's some give and there's some take. But the kitchen is the spot.
Yeah.
It's really the spot.
Oh, that's
like,
where a lot of things happen. A lot of
being
negotiations.
in the kitchen with someone else.
Yep.
You know, and you're like, you're turned into that counter space that you make your sandwiches in, and there's nail polish or
I guess I'll do it over here. Which is kind of screwed up because this is where all the dirty dishes go.
yeah, you know what I mean? It's like you're like, I normally, this is my spot that I.
My wife reconfigured where all the pots and where all the bowls and stuff go in this one cabinet, and like completely blew the system up. I couldn't even talk. I was like,
Yeah, because you know me, you don't even look.
why?
Like you could be on your phone and be like this. Yeah, there's my favorite mug. There's the thing. Boom. You know.
Yeah, right.
Now
The measuring cups are right
You're
underneath.
pulling out a.
This is where it all happens.
Right.
I've been doing the system for 7 years. What are you doing?
Yeah. I think being married is like there's a part of you that you learn to like let all that go.
You let it go. That's my advice.
Yeah. You just let it go.
Yeah.
You know, you literally like it's like, oh, you want to throw that away? You know, throw it away.
Yeah.
You just kind of
Yeah. And if you want the jellies in that spot, then put them there.
yeah.
It's on you. Then put them there, and just or you don't like that they're not cleaning up immediately.
Yeah.
You clean up.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Exactly.
You don't
It's the path of least resistance.
Yeah, you don't you create a thing and try and change their behavior. They're thinking about other stuff.
This whole thing is such a young man's game of trying to be right.
Right. Yes.
That's a young man's game.
Yes, 100%.
Because I always say to him, like, you're not winning anything.
Yeah, why?
Like a young man trying to be right with his woman is like an NBA player arguing with the official.
Right.
They don't overturn the call.
That's right.
Even when they get it, even when you have video footage of it being wrong,
Yeah.
they just go, well, we got to move on with the game.
Right, it's over.
We're not going back and being like, okay, it's never happened in the history of basketball and in the history of marriage and relationships.
Yeah, now you're just a guy who's having a tantrum.
Yes.
And not helping anything.
You win nothing. That's the thing about it. Like, you would think being right, in our minds, we're right, and there's some sort of Olympic ceremony, and we have our own national anthem. I'm standing on that tall podium. She's standing on the bottom one, and we're like, thank you so much there's so many people I can thank for being right.
Yeah.
It's like you get nothing.
It does not matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And so you just kind of go, and when you get to that enlightenment, because it really is a stage of enlightenment, when you could just go, oh,
yeah,
the jelly is fine here.
Right. I'll move it. I literally, this jelly thing is really making me laugh because I have this one section of the refrigerator. It makes sense that all the jellies should probably be together. They're all a group. And you know what? Peanut butter and almond butter should be in that same area too. And the other day, I had been on the road and I opened up the door of the refrigerator and there's peanut butter away from the group, in with like the A1 steak sauce and the mustard. And
there's a moment, I just know that moment where you just, the fridge is now open longer than it should be because you're just... I mean,
yeah. Now, the young version of you would be like, announce to everybody, ladies and gentlemen, we all gather around for this important thing. This should be there. And now you just look at it and you're like,
Yeah.
And then you put the peanut butter back
ladies and
up
gentlemen
there. I won't leave the peanut butter by the mustard. You're not
a monster.
I'm not a monster. I will correct their ways, but I won't point out that they correct their ways.
There's something about being young when you're like fighting with, it's like, it is like a court trial.
Yeah.
We're presenting our evidence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Our wife is sitting there. We were just like, would you like some coffee before we start?
Yeah,
we're going to need anything?
This is going to be a big.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Your Honor. I always have a joke about it because I'd be like, there is something about, we don't just want to be right, but we also want to rub it in your face. So it'd be like, if you're, she's driving or you're going someplace and you say, hey, where do you want to go? And she's like, let's go to that one place. And she tells you where to go. And you're like, well, it's not over there.
Right.
That's not the right. She's like, oh, what am I, stupid? You have that kind of fight where you're like, it's just, you're thinking of someplace else.
Yeah.
And I used to say, like, how great does it feel when you go your way and you see the place? There's that moment where you can go, is that the restaurant? Hold on.
Yeah.
We got to go in and find out if they moved locations.
How weird.
And there's something gratifying about that.
Yeah.
And you just have to let that go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let all that go.
Yeah.
Young men out there watching.
It's not important.
It's not.
It's not important.
Yeah.
You don't need everything to go your way. It's actually not a part of the equation at all.
And actually, if you really go a step further in the math equation, what are you really trying to get? And as you get to a certain age, what we want is peace.
Mm-hmm. And what you want when you're younger, without even realizing it, is power.
We got to take a commercial. We'll be right back. We're going to take callers from Texas.
But it's true.
Yes.
Because you're also finding your way. You're trying to build a career. You're trying to be a person out in the world who doesn't fall on their ass. You want to feel like I'm doing right and I got this and I'm in control.
Yeah. And then realize that you're in control of what?
Yeah.
An uncontrollable sentient being,
right.
with their own, but when you start looking for peace, the math equation becomes, she likes the jelly next to the mustard and frickin' whipped cream.
Well, I would say, and maybe this is a general thing, and you could probably give me the short answer just from your experience. I don't think the people who I live with are not aware that the peanut butter has been on a class trip and ended up past the eggs and now is over by the mustard. And like I have a system and a thing. They're not thinking in any way like that there's order to this.
Yeah.
They're totally cool with it. They're not like, why isn't it by the mustard? They're just like, is it in the fridge?
And then there's like a moment where like you're in another room and you hear this, hey, where's the peanut butter? And in your mind you're like, well, if you would have put it next to the jelly where it belongs, there's a system in there. And you're like, look by the mustard and the pickles. They're like, okay,
if it's
thank you.
Right, yeah, the passive aggressive way. Is,
right.
If it's not where it's supposed to be, then I would check by the mustard.
There's something beautiful about. I don't know. There's something about being a guy. And that's why I actually love being a comic. Because the beauty of being a comic is we don't ever have to let anything go.
What do you mean? Let it go?
Because we can complain about the same thing at the same level every single night.
Right.
With the same energy.
Yeah.
We
completely get it out.
The same way. I mean, we're like that. Like, listen, if we pass by a store, a restaurant that we had a situation with, every time we pass by, we're going to be like,
right.
There it goes. I bet that bitch is in there too, huh? And then your wife is just like, I know, honey, heard it already. You know what I mean? But at a comedy club, we can just go and just be like, let me take you to the store. Everybody's like, that guy, get him. And we just can get it all out.
It is really, yes. Someone asked me, I was somewhere, and they asked if I'd ever been to therapy. And I was like, no, I never have. And she was kind of surprised. I'm like, I thought for a second, I'm like, I am on stage a lot, just letting stuff out.
Yeah.
Without that, I probably would have checked in.
Imagine, though, if there was a therapist. This would probably be a funny game show. It's like comics on stage, they're venting, and a real therapist gets to cut in and go, you might be having issues too. You can just, maybe it changes the joke and it changes the.
It'd be a terrible game show. It'd be called ruining your act.
I know, because it's like we're not. It's not really therapy because we're like documentarians in our head.
We're not really trying to solve anything. It's really it's just catharsis. I get to just bitch and moan, and then if you laugh, then I walk off thinking I'm somewhat right.
Yeah, I used to love to do that. Like when my lady would come to the show, because if we had an argument or disagreement, I would talk about it on stage. But I just wanted to talk about it on stage so she could see when I say about what she did, everybody laughs. And she said to me when she was like, "Yeah, you were." When everybody was laughing, I thought to myself, maybe I wasn't. Maybe I was wrong. And I was like, "Yeah, that's why I talked about it on stage."
Are you on tour now? Are you going around?
Different places.
A little bit? Yeah.
I hate traveling.
You do?
Yeah. The actual travel.
Yeah.
I like being places. That travel is just, and then during like the second part of the pandemic when we were traveling again, but we had to like travel like it was like an outbreak,
Yeah,
it was just the worst.
Just so fear.
Yeah. So it was just like, so I feel like this is the first, 2023 feels as normal as it's felt.
Yeah.
But now we're
Isn't it
seeing,
amazing that it was 3 years?
I know, but I feel like we're walking through the streets of like a bombed out, you know what I mean? So it's like we're feeling normal, we're safe.
Almost.
But it's like, damn, look at the damage that was done.
I know. They have all these like close calls of like at the airports of like planes like almost bumping into each other on the tarmac.
Yeah.
One ran into a shuttle bus, and all that stuff is, you have new people who haven't been doing this for a long time.
I know.
Filling in those jobs, and it's like, oy.
I know.
It's a little scary.
Well, I know. And it's like,
and it's just, I mean, that's one example, room service, every aspect of life is like.
I was thinking about like how it must be terrible for, those type of workers at hotels. They probably let a lot of people go.
A lot of people.
Because they don't even need them anymore now. They're just like, well, it's going to be on call, cleaning, and we don't have to have somebody come every single day, and boom, boom, boom. So I don't know. It's just the world is like a weird place. I don't know if we're really going to see the ramifications of the actions of how we handled it. I don't know if we're going to see the effects of that until years to come, where we're like, ooh, we messed up. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that stuff will come back. I think the one I have my eye on is the kids at a certain age that didn't get to go through the natural progression of their development.
Yeah.
I don't know if you get that back.
Right.
You know, it's a little scary.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, by the time your kid comes, it'll be fine.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll just have like the vaccine shots will just be like some ointment on your fingers. You just go, oh wow, the polio's gone.
But staying in town is a cool thing.
Yeah.
It's
I like doing something like doing podcasts, which my own podcast, Riffin With Griffin.
Yes.
Check me out on that. Also the Golden Hour and Gen to Gen. Those are my 3 podcasts. But anyway.
Oh, you got 3?
Yeah. Doing podcasts are, that's a great way of it's a good source of income, and you can stay in town and also be connected to your fans.
Yeah.
So when you do go to your little gigs, they're coming because they know you. So it's but yeah, being around is great.
Is Workaholics still have juice for you from people?
Yeah.
People, it's amazing the impact of that.
It is.
I mean, that was
just 10 years ago.
It's 10 years ago.
Yeah, and it's back in the news because we were going to make a movie, and then Paramount Plus at the last minute canceled it. So that made all the Workaholics fans be like, "What? Are you kidding me?" You know. And I think I'm finally starting to benefit from Workaholics fans because they're now 30s, early 40s. They have money now to go to shows.
Oh, interesting.
You know, they're like, "Oh, that's the dude from work. Yeah, let me go check him out."
It was a rabid fan base.
Yeah.
It was you could tell when we just working in town with you, when you knew who in the audience was going to be excited.
Yeah, it's a weird it's a magical thing. I should say. I shouldn't say weird. It's just people are on shows that they would see them and I don't even know who that is.
Yeah,
but there's something different when it's they are such a fan of that show. It's their favorite show of all time type of thing.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's such a passion.
Yeah, they're a passionate fan base. I just wish it was on a different network, so I would have been making,
money to the end of time.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's cable, basic cable,
Right.
It's I have to be do one of the insurance freaking commercials "Hi, I'm basic cable star Erik Griffin from Workaholics.
Let me tell you why you should invest in gold."
Yeah. Just call 555-5757. That's my future.
Do you think that UFOs are coming to get us right now? No, you think it's just balloons and things?
Yeah, I think it's just nonsense that we're just, this thing. It's just for Trump to be talking about how we're not handling the balloon, and then the news comes out that they were sending balloons when he was in office too. You just kind of go, but they don't tell us anything.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
I saw there was one guy on CNN, and he was like a astronomer or something, and he was like, "You do realize there's thousands of balloons every day, all around the globe.
Yeah, there's satellites and all kinds of stuff going on. What are we talking about?"
Yeah, it's
that's why I didn't understand a balloon.
Just we saw one.
Yeah, I just thought it's 1968 right now? Is this the level of technology? You have balloons?
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I thought I don't know. I just think that. All right, so are there UFOs? Are there some intelligent beings out there?
Mm-hmm.
If there are, they're either so highly advanced, or they're sadistic.
Why are they sadistic?
If they had some higher technology that could help us, why haven't they? Why is our air still smoggy and our water still polluted? And
right. So you think they're just mean to us?
They're just. What are we?
Dirtbags.
What are we? Fish tank? We're like a big fish tank. So they're either this because they would have to be
a dirty tank.
Yeah, their intelligence would have to be so high to and technology would have to be so advanced to come here and just kind of observe. Why are they just observing?
Right.
you would feel they would feel like they would just show themselves. Yo, hey guys. guys,
Yeah.
the racists.
You don't have to do this.
Well, you don't have to do this. Let me fix your water. And you're like, why are you chopping it? Like, do they have advanced medical technology? Do they have like what are they doing?
Or just like a way to like, just you guys, you're only using this much of your brain.
Yeah. What are they, like sadistic monsters? So that's why I don't believe it.
It was pretty funny, like that the idea over the weekend of shooting all the balloons down was, it was like did the one and then it was 3 more and just shot down immediately.
Yeah.
And people would say maybe it's UFOs. It's like it kind of does clock that our reaction would be, hey, here's a visitor in an octagon shape. Shoot it.
Yeah. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
I mean, I think we have more to worry about.
Yeah.
If I'm saying, if a real flying saucer, like, what are we talking about? Like, I would hope that the scientific world would be like, hey, we need to take a beat here.
Yeah, guys.
Because if they can fly here, trust me, they could take us out.
Yeah.
So I don't think we should shoot our little primitive weapons at the advanced civilization that's coming to check us out. You know what I mean?
It's such a human reaction of just like, just blow it to smithereens.
And that's another thing too, is I say, are we like, we're just assuming that the evolution of sentient creatures, that their evolution is different? Mm-hmm. That they're not coming to be like, oh yeah, these guys are idiots, let's just wipe them out and clean this planet up, and then we're gonna come have a resort here.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, why all of a sudden we think that there's this benevolent super-powered, or they're coming here just to be like, oh guys, we're just looking at you guys. Like, if they're anything like us, let's hope they're not. That's my point.
Right, exactly.
We're just gonna
if they were like us, then
we'd be dead already.
Yeah,
that's
right,
what I'm
exactly.
saying. We would be in slave camps,
Yeah.
mining minerals for their,
That's what I thought, that maybe like looking over Montana was like, oh, this looks like a good space for a camp.
Yeah.
We can put them here. There's lots of space here.
Yeah. That's why I just think that's like think it through.
Right.
Like, think it through. Like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Like, what are they doing? It's like any screenwriter would be like, this is like Avatar or you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. The balloon thing's weird too, in that, like, okay, so they have to send up a balloon to like look at our secrets. It's like, they have to have satellites that are looking at us all the time.
That's what I'm saying.
That could literally come down to the level of our conversation right now.
A balloon?
I know.
Like, what? I thought you had so many questions.
I know.
It's like, is there a reason why? Is a balloon better?
Yeah, why?
Than a drone?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, what?
Yeah. I guess maybe you can't get too mad at a balloon.
Maybe that's what it is.
Right.
Maybe they think it's Pippi Longstockings.
Yeah, like if you send a drone, it's like you've sent a fighter ship.
Right.
But if a balloon comes along.
Yeah. I just don't think, like, I was saying on another thing that, like, if we're in a writer's room and somebody pitched the idea, all right, well, China's going to float a balloon across the ocean, and then we're going to let the balloon just float across the United States and kind of hover over Montana.
And just watch it.
You'd be like, that's a terrible idea. Why would any...
Right. No one's going to believe that.
No one's going to believe that. Cut to, we're like, oh, who's the idiot?
Yeah.
This is my question. Who's the idiot in this situation? Mm-hmm. China using a balloon and then we just get rid of your balloon, or us for like, how long were we gonna let this? We've been letting this balloon go for 5 years now.
Right.
Yeah. What are we doing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's always whenever they hesitate, and it's like they don't really come out and say like, I can't believe that this country has been,
But
what are we up to? We're up to a lot of stuff.
Yeah, my thing is like, that's why do we really want to know? Uh-huh. Should we know? It's like, we need the transparency. Like, do we?
Yeah.
Do we?
I don't need to be involved. I don't want to be involved.
Didn't I vote for you to handle this part of the thing?
Yeah. Why do you need us weighing in?
Yes, you're supposed to be the parents.
Yeah. Take care of it.
Yeah, take care of this.
I know.
Like, I don't need to know all this stuff, but then you look at the different news networks and you would think, oh my God.
Yeah.
You look at one and they're just like, we're being weak. We should have sent nukes. And the other one's like, you're like, all right.
Yeah.
Maybe is there a world that this just was a weather balloon that Imagine that.
Right, that it just went off track.
Yeah, like that makes it even more like, I'm like, well, I don't even know, like.
Yeah, World War III started by somebody trying to check the barometer.
And then now that, and then you got Twitter, so you're just kind of like, well, who knows even what's going on? Like, I don't even, imagine getting your news from Twitter. Like,
I haven't seen a Twitter feed in 5 years.
yeah. Oh, you're just not that guy. Yeah, I get it.
I don't.
Yeah.
It's just like it was too, I scroll through Instagram a lot more.
Yeah.
And that is even addictive,
Yeah.
I don't need more than one place to look.
Yeah.
And Twitter always seems so toxic. I was just like, I'm out.
Yeah. But now that, I think that was.
Use it a lot?
No. I think that was the worst purchase.
What? Elon?
Yeah, in the history of purchases. Like in the history of purchasing,
people buying things?
Of people buying things. That is the worst deal. It's that, then the Louisiana purchase.
Why do you think it's so bad? Bad for him?
He spent $44 billion?
Yeah.
It can't be worth that.
No.
There's no way
No.
it's worth that. How much does it cost to make an app?
Right.
Just buy
it hasn't been profitable.
Just buy a Super Bowl commercial. Jesus had a Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just buy a Super Bowl commercial. Join my app.
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, "Oh, let's check out. Go check." Like, it can't be worth that.
Yeah.
Just take
something you all get for free.
I don't understand it. I don't
don't
understand
either.
if he'll ever.
Yeah. How do they put the valuation?
I have
at
no
that?
idea. It's absurd to me.
Yeah.
It's absurd to me. I just think that was probably going to go down in history as the worst purchase ever.
Of all time. Yeah.
My wife's probably number 9 and 10. There's a couple
At
purses.
Air One.
There's a couple purses in Air One where I'm just like, what is this? Is this the
Who,
Louisiana purchase? What are you doing?
When you're not going to Air One, who does the cooking in the house?
We eat out a lot.
You do?
Yeah. We order a lot.
Order a lot.
But I do.
Order more than go out?
Yeah. When we cook, it's me.
Right.
Because I got this great Traeger grill.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So I just love throwing stuff on that.
What's your go-to?
I like a good steak. Mm-hmm. A good steak. It just cooks it great. There's so many different ways to cook it. And it's great. You can look on the app. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, you're just like, okay, start cooking. And they tell you everything you're supposed to do.
Oh, yeah? What do
Yeah.
you mean? Like when you're doing a steak?
Yeah. Because they have recipes. Then it's like, it's Wi-Fi. It's connected. The grill's connected to your phone. So you can just go make now. Then it heats it up and tells you there's a thermometer, and you just like, oh wow, this is like restaurant quality stuff.
Really?
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, that's good.
But I want to make other things. Like for the first time, but right before the pandemic, I made a turkey for the first time in my life. Like I made the Thanksgiving turkey.
Like roasted in it?
Yeah. I put it in put the apples in it and all this stuff. And I was like, oh wow. And I'm just looking at the the stove in the oven for 6 hours.
Yeah.
Just like, when do you take it out? When do you take it out?
Checking 5 times on the directions.
So now I'm
is
like,
this right? Why is it at 5 hours? Really?
Yeah, bro.
5
Yeah,
hours?
it's just, but it came out okay. But as it came out, I was like, oh, I know what I would do differently. So now I want to make one with the smoker.
Oh, yeah. People are really into that.
Yeah,
Do you do fish?
No.
No.
I haven't done that. I'm a little nervous about. But I guess fish is so easy to cook, though.
It is easy.
But I'm a sushi guy.
Right.
I don't like fishy things.
And
isn't it weird that sushi is not what's fishy?
I know.
It's cooking it.
Cooking it.
Then you're like, what is
smell
that?
in your house?
Yeah. What is that fishy ass smell? It's like, yeah, the raw sushi is great. Raw fish is great. But
do you do fast food?
No, I try not to, but I do. Sometimes I've come home from the comedy store and I pass by a whatever.
What's your favorite?
I don't even know. You know what? Probably like a McDonald's, like quarter pounder with cheese.
Right.
You just and it's like
Heaven.
Half an hour later, you're just like, what did I do?
I was with a friend of mine, and his wife, who's very in shape, healthy looking person, eats fast food 4 to 5 times a week.
Oh no.
And loves it.
Must
the way
be
she
young.
talked about it was not like 50.
Oh wow.
Made me think, like, what am I
missing something?
Yeah, like, what am I doing that wrong?
Yeah.
Like, she had like her favorite places, her favorite
but we don't know.
favorite orders for each one.
Yeah, but cut to the other side of that is we don't know what's going on in her bathroom. You know what I mean?
I thought you were going to say in her blood.
We don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like she's living a lie.
Yeah.
You know, she's living a lie. She's out here like, I'm great. You know what I mean? It's like imagine what Cher really looks like. You know what I mean? Before she gets up. You know what I mean? It's like,
maybe she built up a tolerance. Maybe she's got like a rock hard stomach from all the years.
I think you should trust your instincts.
Which is, you're insane.
Something's up.
Right.
This isn't right. That's what I think.
Yeah, it is intense. She said that she has a beach towel that she keeps in the car.
Yeah.
To set up like as her fast food bib.
Oh wow.
And munch, and then dump all the crumbs out and go back into her life.
Is this a fat woman?
No. Very attractive, very healthy.
Well, maybe she's not healthy.
Yeah, maybe
she could have like a hyperthyroid, or
right.
There's so many things. I'm saying you can't trust.
But when she was talking about it, it really was like it sounded so much fun.
Yeah,
it sounded like she's really just living the life for $6. She's having so much joy out of this. It's the same way when you
I want to go get a corn dog when I leave here. That hot dogs place or the
yeah.
It's just like
I know. There's a couple killer places when you come down here. The donut place, Chili John's.
Oh, yeah, man. I think don't torture yourself.
Right.
I just like, I let myself go. Okay, when's the last time I had?
Right.
It's been a week. Good. How many? You know what I mean?
That is a good thing to ask yourself. When's the last time? And if it was last night,
well, you go. Maybe I shouldn't have.
Right.
Maybe. It's like especially you have the worst part is when you have a certain route home, and you've been driving this route for so long that you could clock. Oh, that donut shop's coming up.
Right.
I'm in the right lane for it too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, it's so easy just to,
That is a very LA thing.
Yeah.
It's like if you're in the left lane and you're passing the thing on the right.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
Yeah, you're not gonna. I don't care how bad you want it.
Because you feel terrible about yourself if you have to do go around the block, make a U-turn or something like that. No, if you do it's so easy.
It's like they wanted me to come in.
They're asking me. There's a parking spot right in front of this, so you just boom, boom,
You know what I haven't had around here that someone was talking about for the first time, which is Tommy's.
Oh yeah, you've never been to Tommy's?
I've never been to Tommy's.
Oh, are you from LA?
No, I grew up East Coast.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I was from LA, so Tommy's was the thing.
It was.
Yeah.
And it's like a chili in a burger.
Yeah, it's a chili burger, man. Come on, what are we talking about right now? Are we going? We should just go. That should be our show. Men over 50 eating food they're not supposed to eat.
Right.
Just, the second half of the show is just, ooh, do you?
We'll call it Ready to Blow.
It's unbelievable. So I don't know.
Really, yeah, they were really good. Yeah.
But there's a lot of places you ever been to Pink's on La Brea?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can only do that once every
2 years.
Yeah.
I know.
For real.
I know.
Because it's like a thing.
There's another hot dog place that's really popular now. What's it called?
Well, there's the one by the Comedy Store, Carney's. That's another one.
Carney's
I went
good.
the other day. I brought it to the Comedy Store.
I had Carney's chili on the Super Bowl.
Oh, wow.
Whew.
Yeah.
That was so good. And then you go for seconds, and you should not go for seconds.
Isn't it weird that this is too much?
Mm-hmm.
I know it's like I don't. You have. It's okay. I'll have the chili. You have enough, and you just go.
This is gonna do it. I knew it was. I was on a tear because they also had all beef hot dogs.
Oh no!
On the stove, and I made it. And I ate it by myself in the corner of the kitchen because I didn't want people to see that. You know what I mean? When you just speed eat something.
Yeah, no napkins. Yeah. You pulled it out of the water, and
just ashamed. What's wrong with me?
Yeah, yeah. I have to hide. Like my wife has this thing though. She goes, "Don't overeat," And there's something about hearing that makes you go, I'm not overeating,
Right.
Let me have that. I'll finish that.
Yeah. I'll show you. I've never overeaten in my life.
And then it's always the same thing. Oh, my stomach hurts. Then she just, I told you.
What kind of food did you grow up with? Who cooked in your house?
See, that's the thing. My mom, she was a single parent, only child. So she worked.
Right.
So it was a lot of like takeout. It was a lot of like when she cooked, it was special.
Right.
And that's so backwards from how everybody else grew up.
Right.
So for me, my mom's cooking. I'm like, oh, you're cooking. Ooh, what's the occasion?
Yeah. This is special.
So when I would go to other people's houses and their moms in there cooking, I'd be like, wow, you guys really doing it up here.
Yeah, what do you celebrate?
What do you guys celebrate?
Whose birthday is it?
Yeah. Is this somebody's anniversary? What are we doing right now?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh no, my mom cooks every day.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until later that I realized, oh,
She's exhausted.
yeah, this is a thing.
Yeah. Is she? Where did she work?
So many different jobs. My mom, she was a transcriber for a while, and then she went into a new medical. Like people were suing so much, so she went into this workers' compensation. It was like a safety specialist. So a new field was invented for you. You had a safety specialist on at jobs, schools, wherever. That person was like making sure there was fire hydrants, fire extinguishers, making sure they were using the right products and all that kind of stuff. So she did that until she retired.
Right. Were you aware of how much she was doing when you were a kid?
You don't know.
Yeah.
You know, you just want to like...
Not until later.
I gotta go to basketball practice. You know what I mean?
God, where are you?
Where are you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm trying to pay the bills.
Yeah, you have no idea she's driving across town.
Right.
To pick you up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an amazing journey to like, you go from like learning, I think you learn patience in a relationship first.
Yeah.
And then you take that patience obviously into child rearing.
Right. Oh yeah, completely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you have to wait you have to wait a full 20 years for them to be like, hey.
Yeah, thanks for that. I know. Hey, geez, you really. Wow. Thanks for keeping me alive.
Yeah. So I'm just looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I know I told you this, but tell you on here is my wife, she loves watching comedy specials.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of times it's like, oh God,
Who's she watching?
Yeah.
Now?
You're like,
oh, this guy.
Yeah. And she's just like, well, it's like, I hear your voice. I was like, was Tom Papa in my bedroom? So I went up and we just sat and we enjoyed it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for
a lot of
saying
times
that.
it's not an enjoyable experience.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just not. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
You're just kind of like, oh no, I know this person.
Why do you like this person?
Yeah.
Why do you like them?
And then your own jealous bitterness comes into play. This guy? This guy Netflix? You know what I mean? You just had that whole thing.
Yeah.
So now I just learned to just sit there. We just enjoy. If she's enjoying it, I'm like, all right.
Yeah. It is a weird thing because at its best, and we all have comedians that we love.
Right.
And that are good people, or you just like their comedy. And that's such a good thing when you are watching somebody. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'll always stick around and watch you. Like, I won't just bust out.
Yeah.
It's like, this is a... But then then there's a whole segment of it that you're like, why are they laughing at that?
Yeah.
Those are hard to take.
Yeah. Sometimes I just...
But that is comedy, right?
That's what... It's so subjective. That's why
Totally.
I got it out of my head. Like, I stopped worrying about that, too. I was like, I stopped being like... I just go, well, the crowd is enjoying this.
Right. Yeah.
So...
Yeah, they like it.
More power.
Right.
I'm out. I'm just going to stand out here.
I don't have to like all types of music.
Right.
I don't have like every song ever made.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly. And comedy is very much like that.
Yeah.
It's so nuanced like that about how someone looks, how their voice, how they sound, how they're delivering it, who it's coming from. Male, female. It's like it's so different. The same jokes coming out of different people's mouth gets a different response. And so you recognize that because we're all so selfish and self-absorbed that we just think like, well, you're supposed to be enjoying me.
Right. Yeah.
I am the only way to do comedy.
Yeah. Which is such a weird thing to ask anyway, because even if they say they love you and that you're great, that lasts for like 10 seconds and you're like, tell me again.
Yeah. Well, that's why we keep going back and doing it. Doing the same thing at the same level.
Yeah.
Same intensity.
Right.
To get that same response. When we see it, we go, I was right. Huh?
The peanut butter does go up
This
there.
is when we win.
Right.
We win when the crowd laughs. And we go, oh, yes. I'm going home right now, and I'm rearranging the cupboards. Cupboards are being rearranged as we speak.
I win again.
Yeah. Until you don't.
Well, thanks for doing this.
Man, anytime.
Really the best.
Always a pleasure.
Now, I've given you bread.
Which I'm going to take home and eat.
And you're going to eat it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people are like, I'm trying to cut back on whatever right now.
No, it's bad. It's like you walk out to the car and like you see the bread,
The best was when Gaffigan was on and he took the bread and then we didn't know we ended up like on the same late flight going to New York. And I didn't see him until baggage claim when the guy was holding up Jim's name.
Oh, right.
And he came and had the bread in his backpack.
Well, at least that's good.
That was really good.
Yeah.
That was
because you don't want to have that moment where you're like, Jim,
what happened to
bread?
What happened to the bread?
Oh, there was,
Yeah. Well, let me know how you like it.
I will.
Let me know what you do with it.
Yeah, I'm probably going to cut it up, put some peanut butter and jelly on a piece.
Oh, okay.
Maybe get some,
that would be good.
Butter on another piece.
A little butter and toast with your special coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
That's really perfect.
Yeah. Nothing like a good buttery.
The best.
Yeah.
You're the best. Thanks for being
Thanks,
here.
man. No problem.
We got it, Aaron. Okay, everybody, that's the big show. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you to Erik for being here. I hope he actually has peanut butter for his bread. I'm starting to worry. I don't know how much he actually has in his refrigerator. But thank you, Erik, for being here. Thank all of you for listening. Go to tompapa.com. Look up all things, the book, the tour, all of it. You're the best. We'll see you next time.